Hey guys, decided to start a new episode. Between my coaching clients, I have pretty much every day I've got one or two at least clients that I have that I go through. And I've been getting a certain set of questions over and over, I should say, again and again. And I'm just going to go over some of my notes and things that I've got. And we're going to call this segment the 10-minute kick-ass coaching session. That's what we're going to start running this as. And I'm going to try and run this as often as I can. Hopefully at some point going to be able to do it every single day. Some people ask, why would I do it every single day, or why would I actually be offering this information to people when I'm trying to get them as coaching clients? Well, big thing with coaching to me is that every single situation is different. So no matter what you do, every business is different, every philosophy is different. It doesn't matter what type of business you're running, you have certain ideas that you want to project onto your staff and onto people and onto your different departments or whatever the case is. So it doesn't matter what size company. Predominantly when I work with companies, they're small to mid-size. A lot of mid-size gets into some consulting work, but that's it. So what I'm going to try and do eventually every single day is to do this little segment called 10-minute kick-ass coaching. Simple as that. And one of the big questions I seem to have is the role of a manager. What does a manager do? Well, manager, as simple as the term goes, you manage. He or she manages the staff. That means you're working with the staff, you're developing the staff. If you have salespeople, you're developing your salespeople in order to be more effective at their delivery or whatever the case is. That's really what that's about when it comes to managing. What is the role of an effective manager is the big thing. Again, effective manager works with people. It doesn't mean they work for people. It doesn't mean they work. They obviously in a management role, you're usually working for somebody. But the long story short, when you're managing people, you develop their skills and you work within them. Sometimes people are not workable. No matter what you do, they're not good fits for your organization, not good fits for what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get across, what your mission is, whatever the case is. So sometimes an employee may not be the perfect fit. Doesn't make them bad people, just makes them maybe bad for your business or bad for your organization. So sometimes you have to cut the ties. My thought onto it, being a manager numerous times over, including running my own business and running other businesses for people, is that a manager really is there to develop the people that are there, work with them, work with their skill sets. If somebody has a better skill set at a certain thing, then you want to try and keep them as close as possible. Doesn't mean you don't want to cross-pollinate, so to speak, and make sure that they can do multiple different tasks at any given time. But the big thing you want to be able to accomplish when it comes to that is to go with their skill set and develop that and go from there. I found that if you spend the time to train people and put some time investing into them, they usually come back to you and really deliver. That's been my experience over and over again. There are exceptions to every rule, but I will say in general that's pretty much what it is. That if you invest in your employees and your technicians, they will invest in you. They are the front line of your company. So when they're dealing with your customers and your clients, if you're in the service business, which is my experience, they're the front line. So if they are not really happy or they're not really showing that they have a positive mindset when it comes to dealing with your customers, then that could be an issue. And that's something a manager effectively manages and make sure that they actually have the tools and are able to use the tools. And if they're not or not willing to embrace the concepts of the business or the manager, then maybe they're not a good fit. Not too long ago, I had a question from one of my clients. I'm having problems with my employees because of one particular manager. Is it the manager or is it the employees? And my mindset has always been, you hired the manager, you put that person in place for that reason. So you need to do some searching and make sure that person has the right skill set themselves, that can effectively manage people, can consistently manage an operation to be profitable, to have a systems-driven mentality. I don't work with businesses that are not willing to have a systems-driven mentality, because everything is an operation, a system, one thing after another. You got to make sure it's done. My experience has been in this and in the music industry as well, and everybody has to have their role in their place. So For instance, for me, I'm a singer and a bass player. My role is to play the bass and be in the pocket, and that's the key to what I do. If I'm going out to do some consulting work, my role is to offer advice. If I'm in the coaching profession or I'm dealing with the coaching issues, my goal is to get that to come out in use. So that's my thing. I always give a lot of slack to the managers. To sometimes they need a little bit more development, a little bit more time to really come into their own. Some books out there on the market are good, some are not so good, but there is a lot of kudos for saying experience is really the best teacher, and sometimes that's the best way to go with it. That gets into my second option. How important is a coach and a manager, so to speak? Well, my fiance Karen really, really loves the New England Patriots. God love her, she loves them, and I respect that. She respects my team, the Steelers, obviously, and I respect her team as the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots have the best coach and quarterback combination in football, period. Whether you love them or hate them, they have the best. And Tom Brady is, on paper and logistically, the greatest quarterback ever to play the game from that standpoint. You may not agree with that, but the stats have proven to be and the analytics have proven that it is pretty much show over time. We have some quarterbacks that go above or go down every single year, but the consistency says Tom Brady really kind of sets it apart. So that's really key. But would he be as effective as a quarterback without a great coach? And the answer is no. There's no question. A coach is developing his skills just like an effective manager. He's developing his talents. He's seeing what's best. He's seeing how that person works and managing or coaching their career and their pathway in the direction they best can suit with where their skill sets are. Not everybody has the same skill sets. Tom Brady happens to be pretty versatile, but there are things Tom Brady is not necessarily good at. And the key point to that is having that coach to be able to see that from the outside and really develop that player to be what he is today. So the answer is you have to have somebody with the right skill set to be able to perform it, because you're not always going to have a Tom Brady. And I'm pretty sure if Tom Brady retired tomorrow, Belichick would have another quarterback in the wings that he could develop the same way. Wouldn't be Brady overnight, not ever going to happen, but you have that ability to train and mentor. So that coach or that manager is extremely effective when it comes to making sure that that the point gets across, the advice comes across, you're effectively managing or coaching somebody. Somebody that's fully coachable listens. They just listen. They don't even have to agree with everything, but you have to listen. That's the key to it. And work within those parameters. When somebody can't work with a coach or can't work with a manager, they're not coachable and they're not manageable. That's today's 10-minute kick-ass coaching session. And I hope to do one of these every day eventually, but today we got it across. There are some questions I've been having, and every day I'm going to try and get some more questions put together and do this session over and over. So thank you so much for watching. Service Without Excuses Mastermind Group. This is exclusive to this group. So if you're in this group, you're seeing it. If you're not, you're not. Simple as that. Thanks so much, and have a great day.